We are about to get the new Tempest class in Diablo Immortal very soon, and I thought why not do a updated tier list for the PvP before the Tempest comes out. And this will be my personal opinion, so you can disagree with that. That is totally fine, and I will keep this video short and quick, starting with the Barbarian. I believe so. Barbarian is currently really good after getting some buffs with the chain builds for PvP, and so I will be putting this in SS. You can go with the Undying Rage with the chain builds. It is pretty strong right now in PvP, and I have seen a lot of Barbarian now using the build and getting some really good result. But you need to know how to use the skills, and if you try and fight the whole group by yourself, you will be CC still and die pretty easily. So don't try and fight the whole group yourself. Try to fight a bit more smart and you will get some nice results with the Barbarian. Next we have the Blood Knight. Blood Knight used to be SS, but now I will drop it to S. It is still a pretty solid class with a lot of mobility. You can get into the back line of your enemies and target them and get away with the invulnerability skills that we have on the Blood Knight. Pretty solid class. Still, some will argue it is still a SS class, but for now I am putting this in S tier and moving on to the next one, that is a Demon Hunter. So everyone and their neighbors currently playing the Demon Hunter in the current meta, having a lot of mobility and having a lot of like machine gun damage. It is pretty easy to use the skills as well. You just click on one of the skills and spam everything at once, spamming your channeling skill and doing some insane damage. Like I said, everyone and their neighbors are currently playing the Demon Hunter. It is a flavor of the month and easily SS tier in my opinion. Next we have Monk. Monk did actually end up getting some buffs, but still you need to have some high skill cap. If you don't have high skill cap, you will not get some good result. You still need to know when to combine your skill and create a combo at the right time to do some huge burst damage. If you cannot do that, then it will be A tier in my opinion. But if you are a skilled player who can pull off the combination of the skills and do some burst damage, then it might be between S and A, but I will be, for safe bet, will be putting Monk in A tier. Next we have the Necromancer. God forbid, I don't think this class has ever went down from SS or STS since the launch of the game. It has been one of the best class that you can play and not worry about getting all that many nerfs. You will always get good result with the Necromancer, and again I will be putting this in SS tier. If you have really good high skills, then it is extremely hard to kill a Necromancer with the survivor passive from the familiars, and then having borrowed time, having the red form, and then if you can combine that with some of the awakened slots and some of the eternal gear that reduce the red form duration, it is a nightmare to fight right now, and higher whales can even destroy the other team by themselves. Well, everyone can, all the whales on the SS tier can do that themselves. And now we are left with two classes. Crusader, I will be putting this in S tier. It is still somewhat, you can argue, between SS and S, but since I cannot put that in between, I will be putting the Crusader in S tier. Still a pretty solid class. You cannot go wrong with this. Some will argue that this is actually SS still, but for the safe bet, I will be putting Crusader in the S tier. Even after getting some nerfs, it is a still very solid class and much needed to do objectives in Battleground. Next, we are left with the Wizard. Wizard, I will be putting in A tier. The reason for that is if you are a low spender or mid spender or mid-range player, your best bet might be going with the support build that is around the CC freeze. But if you have higher resonance, then of course you can go with some new build that can freeze everyone around you with the slow time manipulator mask that is pretty solid. You can combine that with crystalline shadow, with disintegrate, go with the teleport. Those builds still work with the arcane torrent pretty solid as well. But if you are not well, what you can do is go with the freeze build, and most players nowadays know how the wizard play and how to encounter it. So wizard, I will put this class in a tier for most players, but for myself, I consider myself S tier here. But for most players, they will have difficulties fighting other classes as a wizard, especially fighting demon hunter, necromancer, barbarian chasing them down, even the blood knight chasing down the wizard. They will have issues, and even Crusader can chase down the wizard. So I'm putting this in A tier. Most players will have issue fighting the other classes, and this is how my personal tier list looks. Let me know in the comment section down below how would you guys change this, and I'll see you guys later with something else. You guys have a great day.